Good afternoon. I'm Valerie Henderson, a 2017 New York City Fellow, and I'm here to talk about historically black colleges and universities, also known as HBCUs. In March 2009, just 3 months before I was set to graduate from high school, my entire world was shattered when my house burned down. My family and I spent months homeless and couch surfing. At the time, I had been accepted to Embry-Riddle Aeronautical University in Florida, where I had planned to obtain my commercial pilot's license. I decided not to attend because I didn't want to leave my family in North Carolina. I had planned on going to community college until a friend's mother told me about Elizabeth City State University, a university with the only four-year aviation science program in the state of North Carolina. I applied, I was accepted, and by August 2009, I was on campus. At that point, I had no idea that Elizabeth City was an HBCU. Elizabeth City saved and changed my life. I became the university's first female private pilot in 2011. I interned for NASA, the Department of Transportation, and the Department of Energy before heading to New York City, where I currently work as a journalist. I graduated from ECSU in May 2014, and just a few months later, the school that had given me so much when I had so little was facing closure. I had no idea what to do. While researching how I could help, I realized that ECSU was not the only one. There were others, and some had already closed. A total of 17 HBCUs have closed since the first was opened in 1837. The last HBCU, St. Paul's College, closed in 2012. These schools were created during a time when black people were still fleeing slavery, and when the education of people of color was neither a priority nor encouraged. HBCUs were created out of a great social need, and while today's challenges are different, there is still so much work to be done. Racism, systematic oppression, still very much alive and well, and in order to combat these issues, we need the minds of HBCU graduates who have historically been at the forefront of these battles. Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., Ida B. Wells, Thurgood Marshall, all HBCU educated, all fought tooth and nail for our civil rights. Now that fight has been left to the Kamala Harrises, the Marilyn Mosbys, and the Stacey Abrams, all HBCU educated. Today, there are more than 100 HBCUs in the US and Caribbean. These schools have played a pivotal role in transforming the landscape of higher education in the US by educating 50% of our black teachers and 40% of our black health professionals. Despite these numbers, in order for these schools to survive the next century, they need your help. We need your help. They need more advocates. Oh, name recognition. But first, people have to know about these schools. People have to know of their importance so that these schools remain a viable option for students of all backgrounds. A lot of students who attended HBCUs have no idea what they were until they arrived on campus. Why? Because these aren't the most talked about schools. They don't have the name recognition. They aren't the Harvards or Yales. Parents, teachers, guidance counselors don't always know about these schools. It is the job of an HBCU to be an expert in educating and providing opportunities for black students. And the value of these schools is truly in the experience. HBCUs welcome students of all backgrounds who are open to understanding the black experience. And these schools are truly the epitome of what it means to be a community. I realized the importance of HBCUs even more while attending Columbia University, where I started writing a book about these schools. It was when my professor tried to tell me how to tell my own HBCU story that I realized I needed to take control over that narrative and how it reaches other audiences. From there, my now husband and I created the HBCU Leadership Initiative, which looks at issues that hinder these schools, such as enrollment, funding, leadership on all levels, and access to resources. Our goal is to educate communities about HBCUs and to train advocates to fight on their behalf, especially in cases like Elizabeth City's. You can get involved by engaging in transformative conversations about these schools. Host a fundraiser in your area or simply donate to one. There are still so many battles to be fought, and these schools need your help. As Dr. Janetta Cole, The former president of Spelman College once said, "Either we support these institutions or they will die." Thank you.